Welcome back to SL2, it's Fiends. Felix Lubezki here, your host for another forbidden trip into the pages of the past. Tonight we're cracking open a true relic, Witch's Tales issue number 2, March number 1951 from Harvey Comics. This is pre-comics code horror at its rawest. No happy endings, guaranteed. Turn off the lights. Let's begin. Right here on the cover we have the witch herself daring. We dare you to read these eerie tales of supernatural horror. A terrified blonde in a blood-red bed, surrounded by skeletons, hooded phantoms, bats, and a flaming skull. This is issue 2, March 1951. Price? Just 10 cents. Let's step inside. Hey, the pot is bubbled and the brew is right. Mystery and horror crackle with glee. The flames of the fantastic leap high in the brimstone pit. Look at how many letters fill my eerie den. Ah-ha-ha! How you fiends of fury-swept adventure delighted in my last issue of Witch's Tales. Heh what? Oh, of course. My purring friend in the corner has reminded me of something. You out there, don't forget to write to me. It does my black heart good to hear from you. The wind moans and the candle atop the skull burns low. Then it is time, again, for another series of Witch's Tales. The pot has bubbled and the brew is right. Inside we have 3 chilling tales: The Evil Eye, Phantoms in the Flames, and Massacre of the Ghosts. Let's start with the first one. Story number 1, The Evil Eye. Everyone was heard and laughed at the expression, "if looks could kill." This is the story of Boss Squint, a man who found that he had the strange power, the superhuman power of the evil eye. Get back! Get back! Several months before Squint ever dreamed of the rare power he would someday possess, a meeting took place in the FBI office at Washington. Well, Johnson, what about this jewel robbery case? Scotland Yard wants a report. I managed to locate some of the jewels that have been smuggled into this country from that English job, but I can't get a lead on who is bringing the stuff in past our customs officials and how they do it. This must be the doings of a clever international jewel gang. That $500,000 robbery in England took place 2 years ago. I want this case checked. This thing has got me beat, Chief. I keep running into dead ends. We're up against something entirely new. At this very moment, another small portion of the jewels is being smuggled aboard a ship only a few days from the United States coast. What a sweet racket. Nothing to do but deliver the goods to Big Steve and be paid off. And not a chance in a million of getting caught. Too bad the world doesn't know what a slick operator I am. You poor sucker. You only wasted your time as far as I'm concerned. Now I've got to spot my contact. Man with a red carnation. Right this way, please. Go to Area 6 to have your luggage checked. Right this way. Your luggage looks alright, sir. Are you sure you've declared everything you're bringing in? Yeah, just hurry up, will you? Do I look like the kind of guy who would do something illegal? Squint was met at the boat and driven to the gang's hideout. I've sure heard a lot about you, Squint. Big Steve says you're the only one in the gang who can get the stuff past customs without getting caught. How do you do it, huh, Squint? So Steve didn't tell you? Well, he's right, and I'll show you how when we get to Steve. Squint, well, I'm glad to see you, no trouble. Well, I've been running low on cash. Nah, no trouble, you know me, Steve. Hiya, fellas. Well, let's see what you got this time. Now, watch him closely, Max. Hey, what's he doing to his face? Okay, Steve, just a little twist of the wrist and... presto, just like magic. His eye! He took his eye out! Take it easy, Max. That's the gimmick. It's a glass eye with a compartment inside. Just big enough for carrying diamonds. Sure, Max. He's our boy with the $1 million look. There you are, boys. They sure are pretty, but I like them better when they're turned into cash. Let me feel them. Well, I'll be, but I wish you'd put that eye back in your head, Squint. Gives me the creeps. Everyone has laughed at that expression. Look, how come you got this new guy, Max, into the setup? 4-way split is enough. Take it easy. Wait till the others blow. Squint, while you've been away, the feds have been nosying around. Seems to me this would be a good time to try something else. Tell them about it, Max. I got an emerald guy in Egypt that's been keeping for me. A very hot emerald that I got a hold of, you might say, when I was there. It would fit into that eye just right. I see. Sounds okay to me. I'd like a change of scenery anyhow, and it's just a three-way split, huh? Okay, give me the lowdown. A few days later, Squint was again aboard a transatlantic liner bound for Egypt and the Emerald. I'll be back after I get a good look at everything. Sure, but don't get anything in your eyes. I hear they've got plenty of sand in Egypt. Ah ha ha ha. Keep in touch, boy. We'll be waiting for you. Squint didn't waste any time when he reached Egypt. He liked money and not scenery and was only interested in getting Max's emerald. That is, until... Now, let's see. Here's the address I need. Darn places don't have any numbers on them. Huh? What? Get away. Quit following me. Sire, you need a good guide. Me, Sachi. I can show you secrets. Secrets of Egypt. Just a few pennies, sire. Only a few pennies. Come, I show you a mystery of which my people fear to speak. If I did not need the money, I would never show it to you. Well, I suppose you'll keep on bothering me. I could use some relaxation anyway. Okay, you buzzard's bait. Lead on. The emerald can keep another day. They left the little town at the edge of the desert. For an hour, the two rode across the trackless waste of barren land. Only the scratchy voice of the guide and the whine of the lonesome desert wind broke the silence. Okay, so it's a pyramid. Now what? Come, tonight is the ancient ritual. You'll see what no white men have ever seen. The dead will walk. Even the air seemed dead in the ancient tomb, and it was so musty and dank that the torch had to fight to keep alive. They went down, 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 into what seemed to be the black core of the earth, when... Huh? What was that? Bong! It is a signal for the beginning of the ceremony of the dead. Hurry, or we will miss it. What's happening? Shh, quiet. It is forbidden to be here. Discovery means death. Look. Oh, powerful gods, I have burned the sacred powder. I ask you to let the ancient dead walk again on this one night of the year. Oh, hear me, oh, hear me. The sounds tempered by the centuries, the old mummy casts open as the sharp smell of the powder's fumes seeps into every corner of the room and into the nostrils of the mummy. Look, they're coming to life. It's that powder. I'm going to get some. No, they will tear you to pieces. Silently, slowly, Squint slithered to the altar, determined to possess the mysterious powder that could give life to the dead, wondering if he had the secret to everlasting life. Ancient kings, what troubles you? Oh, an intruder after him! Kill him! They see me. Ugh. Come on, we gotta get out of here. They spotted us. I cannot go faster. I am doomed. Below the ponderous steps of the ancient dead kings relentlessly followed the two men up the never-ending staircase until... Oh, they got him. I'll be next. In the last moment of desperation, Squint throws one of the precious vials of powder at the onrushing mummies and... Boom! What a break. The stuff is like TNT. Now to get out of here. Without stopping and without looking behind him, Squint ran all the way to his hotel room, putting as much space between him and the scene of unspeakable horror as he could. But it was not enough. I gotta leave this place. Too dangerous. Night, come after me here. Take boat tonight. Whew, am I glad to see the last of that place. If Max wants that emerald, he can go back after it himself. As to the powder I stole, no one is going to get that, not while I've got it hidden in my glass eye. So Squint came home, keeping to his cabin the whole trip, still shaken from his fantastic experience. Once at home, it all seemed like a nightmare, but little did he know the secret powder he possessed until the night on the way home from the ship. Sure good to be home again. Wonder how much I should tell Max and Steve. Hey, get away, you mutt! Blah, beat it! I heard if you look him in the eye, show him you're not afraid, dogs leave you alone. Gee, my eye, it feels so funny. Kinda warm. Well, look at that. Seems like one look from me made him a dead dog. old feller. Guess he's done for. Seemed to be running from somebody. Or something. Alright, wise guy. Down this next alley and not a peep out of you. Why, Max, I was just about to call you. I had a hunch you might try to come back sooner than you said and keep the emerald yourself. Okay, Squint, unscrew that phony eye before I put a hole in your head and get it the hard way. Now, wait a minute, Max. You got me all wrong. Squint knows that death is very close, and the cold muzzle of the gun feels like one of death's icy fingers. Max will never believe his story, and so, maybe if I just glare at him, like the dog, my eye, it's getting warm. Come on, quit stalling. Why are you looking at me like that? Hey, Mike, look, there's a guy being held up. Stop, or we'll shoot. I'll get him. Blam, 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 blam! Lucky we came along just then. Something told me to cruise past this part of town. Ever see this guy before? Never laid eyes on him. He wanted my money. Threatened me. Later, can't be just luck. Must be power in that powder that I didn't know about. A secret beyond modern knowledge. I have the looks that kill. And with it I can control any mob. I can be boss Squint. One holler from you and I got something here that'll knock your eye out. Back up. Sure, Big Steve. Sure. Before you do anything, Steve, I warn you, you better listen to me. I can kill you without raising a hand. Listen, you brat. If you don't have that emerald, you better talk fast. For the next half hour, Squint tells of his incredible adventure, while Big Steve smirks and smiles, toying with the trigger that would send Squint into the oblivion. Until finally... Oh, walking mummies, powders? Oh, Squint, you're killing me. What's this guy trying to hand us? If this is an act, he seems pretty serious about it. Maybe it did happen. Okay, wise guy, the gag's over. Hand over that eye. Squint, what's the matter with you? Stop staring at me. I said hand over. Laugh at me, will you? You asked for it. Why don't you laugh now, fat boy? Blind! I can't see! I can't see! He made me blind! Boss, watch out! Can't see! Out of my way! You better run, unless you want to go down the short way. Squint decided to lay low for a while after the accidents, but as he waits for his boat to leave, Thor would tear his mind to shreds if he could see the three strange men coming aboard. Yes, sir, Boss Squint, you're on your way to the top. But one dark night during the voyage, when Squint's future criminal career looked brightest, the bulky strangers who had boarded the ship appeared on deck as silent as shadows. There he is, O ancient kings, the man who violated the ceremony. Till you destroy him, the dead cannot rest. Arrgh. The cat-like steps, the Avengers slink up behind the unprepared Squint and kill. It is the mummies. No, don't throw me overboard. No one aboard the ship could ever explain the mysterious disappearance of Squint, and it was assumed that he had fallen overboard. However, several months later, at the very spot that Squint had been thrown into the sea. Now you be careful down there, Jim. We've already lost 2 men trying to salvage the gold from this wreck. Aye, Captain. All ready, Jim? Something funny down here, Captain. Something shining over there near the wreck. It looks like an eye staring at me. Oh, line's tangled. Jim, what's the matter? Answer me. Pull him up, boys. Too late, Captain. He's dead. I had enough of this job. This is an evil place. There's something down there that has taken the lives of 3 good men. Let the sea keep its secret, boys. Up anchor. And while the salvaged ship disappeared over the horizon, evil remains as Squint keep a lonely vigil by the old wreck where he drowned. And the evil eye is only a curiosity to the strange animals that live at the bottom of the sea. Next up, a story that will leave you smelling smoke. Phantoms in the Flames. Good heavens! I plunged my knife into the hilt in its brain, but it still lives! In the cold blackness of an African night, while the tropical stars mock their pursuit from above, a trader, Jonathan Pierce, and his boy servant, Seville, chased a fire and a group of natives for miles and miles. All we want to do is rest and get warm by that fire, yet every time we come close to it, the blasted thing and those natives draw away. How? Never have I been fooled by fires in the night. Evil keeps high those flames. As the morning sun's rays bathed the valley in golden light, Pierce decided to go down into the valley. Sybil, who feared what his master's safety, tried to stop him, but in the struggle, I must get to the bottom of this. Out of the way, Sable. Oh no! Sable, what have I done? You're not in danger of your life, master. Look, the fire has disappeared. I will not allow. No, help! Ah! Jonathan ran from the terrible scene all day as the blazing sun sky cast down its wicked heat upon him. When night came, he had seen the night people. Help me! Saw fires that walked. Killed servant. Lost. Sun. Hot. Water. Jonathan Pierce was carried to the chief's hut and treated. There his scalp began to curl as the chief told him the story of the Abolis, the phantoms and the flames. 20 years ago, a cruel, selfish white man, General Leech, came here. He had a great house with a stockade around it, built in this jungle. Our story begins when the Abolis have returned. The Abolis tribe, the people who were doing the work for General Leech, completed their task. One of Leech's men had come to him. General, them natives outside the stockade, they want the money you promised them after they did the work. Promised? The house is done, and that is all I care about. You and little boy drive them away, and if they don't want to go, later. We told them to pull out, but they wouldn't go, and some of them are trying to climb the stockade walls, General. So why do you tell me, idiot? Kill them. Follow me. How dare those devils defy me? The Abolis were a proud and fierce people and would not be denied what was rightfully theirs by agreement. They attacked. Hot lead for you devils. What a sorry neck. Yes, the slaughter of the Abolis was terrible, and the people of the jungle suddenly knew what kind of man Leech was. But even then we did not know the power of his evil. This is perfect. Here in the heart of Africa I can continue my work. The day will come when neither a man obeys me or becomes as fleshless as the skull. Sometime later, as the general inspected his land, what the? Whoa, boy! Whoa! It's quicksand! Save me! I'll give you anything. Oh, I can't reach that vine. Let the quicksand suck you down to the black bowels of the earth. There you will rot cursed by all, murderer of our people. Do you think you have me? No, I'll come back from the dead. My house will forever be garden, and every last Abolis man, woman, and child will be forced to roam the earth and flee whenever a white man appears. You will never know the peace of death. And slowly, the raving Leech was dragged under the surface of the sand as if some giant hand had hold of his legs and was pulling him down. The story ends, but the curse continues. From time to time, the Abolis are seen around their fire. The jungle people have also heard strange noises from the deserted general's house, but no one dares go near it. But I've just got to go see that house. After I get stronger, I want to be shown where the place is. With more determination than sanity, Jonathan Pierce got someone to guide him to the house. The jungle was quiet. Too quiet. There was a feeling of suspense and death. When I don't feel quite as sure about this now that I'm here. This house. What was that? Thump, thump, thump. I wonder what that noise was before. I couldn't imagine it. This passage is a dead end. Better get out. Good heavens, that noise is right behind me now. Thump, thump, thump. A noise, a strange smell, made Jonathan wheel around, and what he saw made the hair on the back of his neck bristle with fear. Ah! Thump, thump, thump. Gorilla! My gun! It won't fire! The steps that thundered into the small passageway. The huge monster of the jungle advanced, its being the thing Leech had left to guard his house. My life! Let's fight! Knife! Get out the knife! Quick! pull the candle. Suddenly, the vice of oak-like arms began to squeeze the life out of the man. The flames seemed to dance with glee and glow longer as the life and death battle continued. It is getting so dark. With the desperation of a man forced to fight for his life, Jonathan lashed out with supreme effort and buried his knife deep into the brain of the monster. The gorilla shuddered and then fell. It's dead, and I'm still alive, but I must get away. Fire! Using the strength he had left, the badly wounded trader dragged himself out of the horrible passageway just in time, for as he stumbled out, the fingers of fire joined across the opening in a band of death. Weak from loss of blood and the terrible strain of the battle, the now delirious Jonathan wanders further and further away from the general's house, which comes crashing down as the earth eats away at its foundations. Blacking out, can't go on. And as the blackness of the unconsciousness closed in, men as silent as shadows slipped from the jungle and fire, fire, must get away. Hurry, he is close to death. Many long hours of strange, quiet men carried Jonathan Pierce. They seemed to know the jungle like the animals. Then, as the trees suddenly parted, the phantom fire was seen. Oh, my head, where am I? Among the Abolis. I am Chief Abdul. These are my people, who walked earth in misery just as you did when we found you. All of us know of your fight. But this can't be. They told me you were ghosts, but you were real. I'm leaning on you, Chief. Aye, we are ghosts and curse at that. For these many years we have wandering, but now no more. You have killed the monster, destroyed the evil house, and so lifted the curse from our heads. And his mind whirls around in confused circles. Jonathan finds voice to ask, but how can you be ghosts? I tell you I can feel you. Oh no, you're all disappearing. Do not fear. Now that the curse is no more, we can rest. Here, take this idol. It will be a bond of our friendship. When we meet again. Unable to stand the strain any more, the trader's body becomes limp and drops to the ground. But from nowhere, it seems, voices speak. Our white brother has fainted. We must carry him to safety. We cannot let him die. Later, now, take it easy. You've been unconscious for several days. You must have had a rough time. Someone brought you to the hospital's front lawn and left you there. They must have been friends of yours. Friends? Well, of course, it was the Abolis. The doctors heard Jonathan Pierce mention the Abolis. His face first clouded, but then began scoffing. Come on, time for another shot. Say, you must have some of that fever left. Don't you know that the Abolis have been extinct for 20 years? By the way, here's something you were holding when we found you. But, as the doctor leaves, smiling and shaking his head, Jonathan Pierce looks at what the doctor had given. Fever, is it? The fool! Here is the Abolis idol. I did see the Abolis, and as the chief said, it will be a bond of our friendship. When we meet again. And now for some strange superstitions. Witchcraft on the high seas. In New England, where it is said the persecuted witches went when things got too hot for them in the old world, there lived a woman weaver who was a witch. As the light of day melted into the purple of the night, she would just sit, bending over her loom, silent and not doing a thing. Then, as if the devil rose up before her, she would start working as busily as corn in her corn pot. Many was the time that the witch's keyhole had her eye pressed close to it to marvel and fear at the strange cloth that she was making. The cloth resembled a flag whose background was black. The witch never ate with the family that employed her, and not once did she ask for anything. It is said that the town mayor, on making a keyhole investigation, saw a hornet buzz out of her mouth. The minister laughed at this and said it was nonsense, but at that very hour, a farmer was thrown from his horse. The farmer later claimed a hornet bit his animal, which reared and threw him. One day, a careless servant started a fire in the farmhouse where the witch lived, and soon the flames were reaching for the heavens. The witch managed to get out safely, walking right through the flames. As the ash of the house mounted in the fire, the witch gave out a terrible shriek and ran back into the burning house to save her cat, whom she'd forgotten. Just after she entered the blazing structure, the weakened timbers let out a warning groan and collapsed. When finally but a few sputtering embers remained, the men of the town poked in the ruins for the witch and her cat. Neither was found. But something else was found: the witch's loom. The work on it was complete. The man cringed in fright as they saw the strange design the witch had been weaving. Born in the raging flames, it was a mark of horror sewn white on black cloth. It is the mark which struck terror in the hearts of men for many years to come. It was the skull and bones and the Jolly Roger. Many savages the world over believe that when a person dies, his or her name should never be mentioned aloud again. Supposedly, if the ghost heard his name, he would think his relatives were not properly grieving for him, and he would return to haunt them. In common with some of the cults of India, the Egyptians believed the souls of the men entered different forms at death. Those people who had been good and worthy in life were given exalted bodies, while those who had sinned and preferred evil were given the bodies of reptiles and other horrible creatures. In the days gone by, there was a man known as the Witch-Finder General, whose job it was to track down all witches. He claimed he had a book stolen from the devil which listed all the witches' names. When a jeering crowd dragged someone to be tortured as a witch, the Witch-Finder General was the man responsible for the crowd's execution. The werewolf has taken its place in world history and legend, but another such creature is fast growing in the imaginations of the men: the werefox. The werefox is a woman who has assumed the shape of a fox. The return of the werewolf. Toby, the gnarled old cobbler, was hurrying home, his thin shoulders huddled around his stooped head. The night was very cold. Then, as he turned a corner, Toby was smashed off his feet by the wild attack of an animal. It's such a nice morning, and we have to be out here investigating a murder. Constable Hawkins wasn't too happy as he knelt thanks before the lifeless form of the old cobbler, whose neck had been ripped open by the fangs of a mad demon. Inspector Galt peered at the body, not heedful of his assistant's complaint. "It's murder, all right. What monster could have—" "Oh, what's this?" The inspector pried open Toby's fist, with which was clasped a death grip. It looks as if Toby gave whatever murdered him a little fight. He tore his cloth from the killer's clothes. Inspector, come quick." "Tim Gallagher says he knows who the murderer is." Inspector Galt straightened up and faced the man who was standing breathless in front of him. "Hawkins, stay here. I'll check this." "Yes, sir. I saw Miss Krieger running down the street last night, and her clothes were ripped and bloody." The inspector had to call for order. The assembled crowd, upon hearing Tim Gallagher's words, began to shout and mumble that Miss Krieger was a witch who could change into an animal. This belief had existed ever since the widow's husband was murdered. His neck slit from ear to ear. Calling for 2 witnesses, Inspector Galt went to the widow's house. "Miss Krieger," the judge said, "upon entering your house, the inspector and 2 witnesses found you wounded and your clothes bloody. You have no alibi. This, together with your past actions, forces the court to find you guilty of Toby's murder and to sentence you to death by burning at the stake as a witch." On the night the execution was to take place, the moon was full just as it had been when Toby was murdered. "Apply the torch," ordered the mayor. The flames began to lick up the post, and as they did, the moon passed from behind with some clouds. "Good heavens, look at the widow! No, it's... The flames were devouring the body of a screaming, mad wolf. And for our final tale, Massacres of the Ghost, a story about an entire town that paid the ultimate price for disturbing the dead. Once the thriving Midwestern town of Bloody Creek stood proudly on the plains, a tribute to the pioneers who built it with their sweat, toil, and blood. A few men were brave enough to stay there when the very earth shook with fright. The water ran red, and they heard the sound of death. "Feels like the earth's going to split right under our feet. Run for your lives!" So you're pulling out a bloody creek, eh, Chuck? Yeah, I've had enough of these damn earthquakes. We've already lost one boy. I don't aim to lose any more of my kin. Besides, my cattle died drinking that bloody water. Yep. Hurry up, Chuck. Maybe these men don't believe in curses, but we do. Crack! Can't say that I blame them, Bradford boy. That last quake killed 8 people, and all the wells and creeks around here have been red for 2 weeks. Well, Tom, if this keeps up, looks like we're not going to have a town left. Tom, we got to do something. There must be some logical explanation besides that old legend. Maybe some, but I'm beginning to get a mite scared myself. Hurry, Doctor. My little girl, she's dying. Come as fast as I can, Mr. Lee. Couldn't get here any faster. A lot of folks hurt in this town. The people were desperate and frightened, not knowing when to expect another catastrophe. That night, while the Ponry wind moaned solemnly for the dead through the half-deserted town. Now, folks, Tom and I decided it might be a good idea if we sent for a government man, one of them scientist fellows. We all know that an earthquake is an act of God, but water turning red a couple times every year is another matter. And I tell you, it's all one and the same. It's our grandfather's fault for bringing the curse on our heads. But what can we do? Our cattle die like flies when the water turns red. You're right, it's the only thing to do. That, or clear out and get this land back to the Indians. And sometime later in Washington, D.C., there's a man who does not know that he is at the threshold of the strangest adventure of his life. Oh, Mr. Collins. Oh, that man. Wish he'd look at me that way he looks at that test tube. Hey, Bill Collins, the chief wants to see you right away. Huh? Oh, yes, be right in. Bill, I've got an interesting little assignment for you. Here's a letter from a little town out west called Bloody Creek. Seems they're having some trouble. Strange rumblings underground, even a few earthquakes, and oddest of all, cattle begin poisoned by water they claim runs red. They've requested an investigator. Interested? Sure I am, Chief. I've been cooped up in the lab long enough. I'll start immediately. A few weeks later, on the outskirts of town, I think I'll take a private look before I go into town. I guess this must be the creek they claim runs red with blood and gave the town its name. Come on, boy, let's go down and take a look. This water looks perfectly colorless to me. Huh? Blam! See? Okay, stranger, what are you doing snooping around my land? And that creek. You putting something in it? Talk fast. Look, my name's Bill Collins from Washington. You folks asked for a man to come out here. I'm him. Now, would you please point that thing in another direction? Taking no chances with you, stranger. If you ain't telling the truth, do you have to hold that thing so close? Easy, Rufus. This is the one we sent for. He's got a letter we sent to Washington and identification. Well, now that's a horse of different color. Look here, son. You've got to forgive the people around here for being a mite suspicious. If we ride out to Rufus' place, you'd be able to see why. I'd hate to have you mad at me, Rufus, if that was only being suspicious. By nightfall, they reached the pasture lands. A grisly sight awaited Bill as he saw hundreds of skeletons gleaming dully under the fully ghostly white moon. And this is only a sample of what's been happening. I've been getting worse all the time. We've got a graveyard full of friends, too. So deathly quiet out here at night. Ain't always this quiet. No siree. Look here, Bill. You stay at my ranch tonight. No sense going all the way back to town. Gratefully, Bill turned in early that night after the long day, but about midnight he awoke suddenly. It seemed as if unseen hand were shaking his bed, shaking the whole house. What's going on here? Finally, the trembling house seemed to stop shaking, but something else made his eyes snap open in fright. In horror, he glued his eyes to the slowly opening door, creaking like a tortured soul. Ooh. What was that? Who's there? You came in so quietly, Rufus, and that howling. For a moment, I thought you were but that's silly. Ooh. Came in quietly, thought you might have slept through it. That ain't nothing but an old coyote, but you feel it and hear it. The rumbling and the shaking, that was only a small one. In the bright sunshine of the western morning, the events of the night before took on a nightmarish, unreal quality. But Bill was anxious as ever to get to the bottom of the strange rumblings. Thanks, daughter. Bill, I tell you, it ain't no science gonna put a stop on to the goings on around here. It's the curse that old Squawnee's ancestor put on us all. The old Indian will tell you all about it. Yes, sirree. Now, Pop, you know that's just a story. I was going to start my investigations today, but maybe I'll take a ride to the Indian reservation and see the chief. It'll be something to tell the gang about at home. I have come in peace to see your chief, Squawnee. We know, Paleface. Other Indians tell us on Tom Tom. Come, Squawnee will see you. Boom, 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 boom. When Bill entered the chief's wigwam, it was like walking into a strange new world. It was dark and quiet and mysterious, and when Squawnee spoke, his voice was cracked with time. What do you want, white man? Great chief, I have come to hear from your lips about the curse on the people of Bloody Creek. They say you know better than anyone why the earth shakes and the water runs red. I cannot believe the Squawnee that the water runs red with blood, as you say, and I am sure there must be another reason. Silence! I tell the truth. Squawnee knows, Squawnee saw. Listen, it was over 100 years ago when I was a young brave. The hoarse voice of the fabulously old Indian made Bill Collins keep in awed silence, and the ancient story unfolded itself by the only man who was old enough in the world to remember. I'm happy that we've made this treaty. There is no reason why the red man and the white man cannot live side by side in peace. There is land for all. My people are glad to be at peace with our white brothers. There shall be no more killing. Oh, Frank, I feel so much better knowing that the Indians are our friends. Life out here is difficult enough without wars on our hands. Sure, Martha, look at the chief's son playing with our boys. I guess boys are boys no matter what color they are. But one black day, the chief, I tell you, it was an accident. He ate some poison and he thought it was candy. All our people grieve with you for the death of your son. The white man speaks with the forked tongue of the snake. Go, leave my dead son here. I don't think the chief believed. Hey, Frank, look. That's coming the vicinity of my place. Come on. Frank, this is horrible. It's those blasted Indians. They didn't believe you. They'll pay. I'll make them pay for every drop of blood. You hear? Every drop. Yes, white man, the two chiefs met in the valley. That is now the bed of Bloody Creek, there to do battle to the death. Go get 'em, Frank. So it's just you and me, is it, you red devil? Yes, one must die. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Scene of fighting. The two men continue to struggle. Your time has come. The white chief and my chief were equally matched. For a long time they fought, wounding each other deeply. Never was there such a terrible struggle. Finally, the two sides could wait no longer, and they clashed together in a mighty battle. Men fell as fast as raindrops, and the blood reddened the earth. Oh, Bland! Yee! Crack! Look, the noise has started an avalanche. We'll be buried alive. Ah! Yeah! Help! Rumble, rumble, rumble. And as if the earth itself was tired of the bloodshed that swallowed them up. What was once the battleground is now the bed of Bloody Creek, so named by men who came later. The noises and the red water showed that the ghosts of the old enemies still battled deep in the earth. The tale of Squawnee had weaved a hypnotic spell, and even the scientist, Bill Collins, seemed to see in his mind's eye the battle of the past, as he went to get specimens from the stained creek. Look at that, the water's running red. I have to get some of that. I wonder if this means another quake is coming too. It almost seems as if, but no, it can't be. I've let that old Indian bollocks me. Now my mind is playing tricks on me. Well, Bill, have you found out anything yet? I guess you've heard the rumblings of the last few days, people getting mighty scared. I'm taking these specimens back to Washington with me to test. Most likely all I'll find is some mineral ore that's been coloring the creek, maybe poisoning the cattle. Well, let us know as soon as you can, will you, Bill, or we won't have any town left. On the way home, Bill tried to fight down the thought that he actually seen something in the waterfall. He was convinced that the test would all... Well, Bill, my boy, did you get that little mystery cleared up for the people out in that midwestern town? You know, the one with the strange name? Hey, what's the matter? This is impossible. I've made the test 3 times. It can't be. No mineral in it. What are you mumbling about? Say, I thought you were running some tests on the specimens you brought back. What are you doing, testing his blood? You see it too. Then it is true. People of Buddy Creek never heard from Bill, and slowly they drifted away until there was nothing left alive in the town. Only the lonesome sounds of the wind, the coyote, and the occasional rumblings are heard, for nothing can live along the banks of Buddy Creek. And I know I said final story, but I decided to add 2 more bonus ones. The Man Who Would Not Die is our text story. Igor Borden, it is the duty of this court to see that justice is done. Therefore, in view of the facts presented in this case, the court sentences you to hang by the neck until you are dead. His words seemed to act like sparks for the courtroom, became ablaze with excited whispers. Then silence gripped the room as the prisoner lifted up his chains and motioned for silence. Then, the light from the large window appeared to center on the condemned figure, but the deep sunken eyes of Igor Borden became even blacker. Say it is the duty of this court to see that justice is done. I laugh at you. At that, you, Judge August Dorleth, you, Prosecutor Eon Heinlein, and you, defense lawyer Herman Gunn, are murderers. These words rocked the assembled group and caused the judge to stir uneasily and stammer. The court will not allow. The court will listen, you greasy pig, sharply answered the prisoner, for justice will be served. You 3 men want to rule this territory. I was the only block to that end. So the 3 of you framed a case of murder against me, and by use of legal means plotted to kill me. Hear me then, you 3 murderers and the world. I will not die on the scaffold. I cannot let the poor people of this territory to be bled to death by your taxes. I will come back. I cannot be killed. When the day to execution came, Igor Borodin was marched up to the scaffold. As he passed the reviewing stand, he noticed that the 3 men whom he had cursed were smiling. The fact they were able to see their enemies so close to his death had fortified their spirits. Igor Borodin also smiled, but to himself. The executioner blindfolded the prisoner. The mayor nodded his head. The trapdoor sprung open. The body of Igor Borodin swung back and forth. Time was an excellent memory healer, and soon the people forgot about the execution. Actually, they had little time to remember, for the trio that Igor Borodin had called murderers had taken over the territory and were bleeding the people white with taxes. Then, one night, as the judge who had sentenced Igor was preparing to go to bed, he heard someone tapping lightly on the library window. Opening the window, the judge recoiled in horror. Standing in front of him was Igor Borodin, his head bent over his left shoulder, and a huge stump rising from the neck where once his head lay. Igor's face was twisted in a grotesque expression, as if, at one time, a tremendous pain gripped his body. So, August Derleth, you thought I was mad when I said I would never die. When that trapdoor opened, I placed my head in a position I had practiced for months, and thus prevented death. However, though I lived, my neck still was crushed by your rope. The judge was on his knees asking forgiveness, but the burning eyes of Igor had no forgiveness in them. Get up, you thief, and come here. The terror-shattered man rose trembling and came closer to the dead man. Put your hand on the thump of my neck. No, 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 gasped the judge as he cringed away from his tormentor. Put it there, I shall kill you. Now. Put it there. The judge staggered to Igor and sobbed with fright, placed his hand on the stump. No, unable to withstand the shock, August Derleth crashed through the glass library doors and slumped to the ground. His head was split wide open. Aye, justice will be served. Igor slipped out of the window. Some days later, in another part of town, Igor Borodin, it can't be. You're dead. I can't. The stump. It's horrible. Moving the silken rope from the prosecutor Heinlein's neck, Igor looked down at the still body and grunted. Justice will be served. Defense lawyer Herman Gunn was sitting in his study when Igor crept in silently. Gunn, hearing about the death of his associates, knew Igor somehow managed to return. He had a long knife hidden in his sleeve for protection. As the lawyer put down his paper, his head jerked back to confront Igor bored. Confronting his fears, Gunn leaped to his feet and charged Igor. For long minutes, they fought, and the room was turned into shambles. Then Gunn lashed out and sunk his blade up to the hilt into the stump. He broke out into mad, joyous laughter as the blood shot out of the punctured stump and over the two combatants. The laughter changed to surprise, and then to fear, however, as Gunn felt Igor's knife slide into his stomach and twist inside. Both men fell to the ground dead. Justice had been served. And now to wrap things up with our last bonus story of the two bonus stories, we have The Man with Two Faces. Among the annals of crime and justice, one of the strangest cases is that of Felix Lubezki, the most vicious criminal of the day. Many times he escaped the clutching fingers of death, for even death was baffled by the Man with Two Faces. Bullets, messengers of death, whined over their heads, while the long white fingers of the searchlight relentlessly sought the trapped Crandall gang. How are we going to get out of this, Blix? Our ammunition is low, Blix. We're going to have to give up. Don't be chumps. I've got a plan. We got to jump to the roof of the next house. Zing, zing, rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. All right, now. Hey, look, there they are. Quick, turn the lights on them. Crack, rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Bang! Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat. My head. Joe, help me. I'm hit. I'm falling. No! Bam! Grab me, Blix. They got Greg and Willie. Don't let me go, Joe. Don't leave me, please. Bing! We're like ducks in a shooting gallery. Come on. Desperate, the two men went to the cellar of the house and sneaked out a back alley. The daring stunt caught the police flat-footed. Only one officer stood between them and escape, so... Halt! In the name of the law! Play it! Out of our way. Alright, this is your funeral. Now let's get over to the south side. Get me to the dock before I bleed to death. What a break, Blix. They all think we're the police. Look at them scatter. Here, Doc, take him. He's hit bad. I gotta go back and ditch that police car somewhere. Yes, bring him in the operation room, quickly. The gang doctor probed the shoulder of the unconscious Felix Lubezki and managed to save his life. A few days later, Hiya, Doc. I guess I'd be on a cold slab at the police morgue by now if it weren't for you. Feeling pretty chipper, are you, Blix? Here, I brought you this radio so you can hear all about yourself. And the police report that with the capture of Joe Johnson, all members of the vicious Crandall gang have been killed or captured except for Felix Crandall himself, who's believed seriously wounded and hiding out. But we got Joe too. Poor sap. Well, they'll never take mate. Don't be so sure you become public enemy number one. Police are broadcasting your description every half hour. You couldn't walk down the street without being recognized unless what, Sawbones? What's going on in that head of yours? An operation. Plastic surgery. I'll give you a new face. They'll never recognize you. And I can give you a new set of prints. I can do it, Blix. I've been studying. Your life isn't worth a bent penny now. Blix agreed to the operation. He knew his face was imprinted on every policeman's mind in the country. But he did not know just how dangerous the operation would be. Now's my chance. I've got the guinea pig I need. Yes, I'll change his face and I'll change his mind, too. I'll make him forget the past, wipe his memory clean with my little scalpel. Oh, I'll have to be careful. Soon I'll be famous. Now comes the delicate part, the operation on his brain. I hope his brain will stand the shock. For several days after the fantastic operation, the life of Felix Lubezki was delicately balanced between life and death. Finally, he was strong enough to sit up. But I don't understand. My past is as dark to me as this room. Who am I? When will I be able to see? Your car hit a gasoline truck and everything was burned. Your face especially. And your hands. Shock was caused to lose your memory. Come now, rest. Impatiently, the doctor bided his time and went through blicks of his story and waiting for the scars to heal, for he had a plan. Then one day, so that's what I look like. You know, I can't even remember that. Say, I'm not a bad looking guy, am I? Came out fine. Later, we'll go to the hospital for a final checkup. Success. Not a trace of his old self, mentally or physically. Even that deep scar on his big face is gone. Wait till I tell those doctors at City Hospital that this man is Felix Crandall. When I've proven my success, then the police have it. Taxi, taxi. Oh, let's take the subway. I don't recall any of this. It's like being born again. Drat, all these people. Don't they know whom they're pushing around? Hey, stop your shoving. Here comes the train, Doctor. Where did you say we were going? The rush hour crowd surges forward, and the frail little body of the doctor cannot withstand the pushing mob. The roaring train drowns out his high-pitched voice. No, no, don't push. I'm falling. Blix, help me. Doctor, watch out. That man, catch him. Oh no, I can't look back. Stand back. The hideous screams of the doctor are silenced, and in the turmoil, Blix is pushed to the fringes of the crowd, bewildered, lost. Make way for the officer. Horrible. That poor man. Why couldn't I have grabbed him in time? After all he did for me, no sense hanging around here. I couldn't even tell anybody my name. I'd better just ease out. Sometimes fate is a diabolical trickster as Blix roams around the city trying to remember something, anything. Well, why not try out for the force? I gotta find something to do. I've only got a few bucks in my pocket. Smith, huh? John Smith. Not a very original name, is it? Well, you look like a likely prospect. We're here tomorrow morning for your physical, and then there'll be some exams to take. Yes, sir. I'll be here, sir. You certainly know how to handle a gun, Smith. By the way, the medical examiner wants to know where you got that bullet wound in the shoulder. Thanks. I did a lot of shooting in the woods around my father's farm. That's how I got the wound. Someone shot me accidentally. Glad I thought that one up. I wonder how did I get it? Blix worked hard being a rookie cop, and he was happy being it. He wanted to be one of the best on the force. Alright, you, pull over to the side. Didn't you see that red light? You could have killed someone. But officer, tweet, honk, honk. During the next few years, his reputation grew. Okay, you two, up with him. Maybe this will teach you guys to fool around on my beat. Better do it, Chuck. He looks like he means business. He even got himself a steady girl, the daughter of the chief of the homicide department. I've been following your work, Smith. I like it. I got an opening in my department for an assistant, and I'm going to recommend you. You seem to have a real feeling for tracking criminals. Thank you, sir. Yes, I always seem to be able to outguess them. Somehow I just seem to know how the criminal mind operates. Oh, Dad, that's wonderful. Let's celebrate tonight, John. Your first job as my assistant is to do a little research work on Felix Crandall. We nearly had him a few years ago, but he managed to slip through our fingers. He's wanted in 8 states, and I think he's still around these parts. I want him. He killed 3 of my boys. Here's the data. I'll get right on it, Chief. I don't like cop killers. What's the matter, John? You look tired. Gee, I am, Alice. I've been reading over the Crandall case record all day. That guy is a real killer, but I do feel kind of weary. Would you mind if we called off our date tonight? Alice, a nice kid. As soon as I get another raise, get married, my head, I feel so weak, kind of dizzy. Better get home. Oh, pardon me. John? Hey, what's the matter with you? Why don't you look where you're going? That jolt was the spark. The fires of the past shot up, and for a moment, a kind of purple fog blinded Blix. When it lifted, John Smith had disappeared. Yeah, dough. That's what I need. I'll get some of the boys together for a few jobs. Wonder where Joe and Greg are at. Hand over everything you've got if you want to come home alive. Yes, anything you say. But the next morning, Blix had no recollection of the events of the night before. There was a sharp, shooting pain in his head, as if some mysterious hand was jabbing his brain with a hot needle. Hey, John, boy, you must have had a big party last night. You look a little rugged this morning. By the way, some hoodlum had up 6 guys last night all over town. Phone's going like crazy. No kidding. That must be the bells I keep hearing in my head. There's the Chief. See you later, Tommy. Hello, John. Here I am, right on time. John, what's the matter? You look so different. Are you mad at something? You look hard and mean. How did you cut your face? Cut? Oh, I guess I must have done that shaving. Gosh, I've had a terrible day. My head's splitting. I couldn't get any real work done. I think what you need is a little relaxation. You've been working too hard. What does this girl mean, pushing me around like this? Doesn't she know who I am? No, you shouldn't say things like that about Alice. She's a sweet kid. On my head. Things were happening both inside and outside of Blix. John Smith, Crandall, his mind swayed between good and evil, while the scar deepened on his cheek. Come on, John, these places are always good for a couple of lasting surprises. Sure, Alice, sure. Ha ha ha, ho ho ho! Alice, look, it's Crandall. He's in here too. Let go of me, I gotta get him. John, stop it, put your gun away. Have you gone mad? Help, somebody help! In the Hall of Mirrors, a strange thing happened. The intricate arrangement of mirrors which flashed back 1,000 images also flashed back a true image of himself. You can't get out of here now, Crandall. I got you cornered. Put your hands up. Fire back at me, will you? I take that. Blam, 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 bang, bang, crash, crash, crash. Insanely, Blix emptied his gun at the walls, the blood pumping madly through his sick brain until, oh, my head, Alice, my head. Smith was right. This is Blix Crandall. This is odd. He doesn't seem to be shot. Looks like a brain hemorrhage to me. I wonder where John went to. He's alright. Has anyone seen John? This was Witch's Tales, Issue 2. But before we close the book, let's take one last look at the kind of reaction these stories get. They screamed when they started to read. You've just survived another SL Toons full issue reading. If your heart is still pounding, you know we did our job. Drop a comment with which story scared you the most. Smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next eerie episode. This is Felix Lubezki, signing off. Sweet scream. Good fright.
SL Tonight is here, bringing you the creepiest tales and most chilling mysteries. Remember, unauthorized duplication is a scream. Stay tuned for the fright of your life!